Hi, good evening, guys. Welcome to the channel again. I haven't been able to produce another video on this channel due to I was somewhat under the weather, but now I'm back. So as you guys know, I have done Genesis 1, Genesis 2, Genesis 3, and Genesis 4. Like I've said before, I am not religious, I'm spiritual. However, I base my knowledge and information that I have. I'm taking all my um, inspiration from the Bible, right? That's where I'm taking my inspiration from, guys. Today, I want to go over Genesis 5 to 9, all right? 5 to 9. So, with that said, I would like you guys to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and share the videos, and also leave comments so I can make the videos even better as I keep, going through that journey. So, well, okay. So yeah, I know, but I print it out because I've never read it. So as I'm gonna read it with you guys, this is the first time I'm gonna be reading through it. And what I'll try to do is to decipher um, the book itself, Genesis 5 to 9. I'll try to read it, and as I'm going along, as I'm reading along, I'm gonna try to see if I can analyze the different parts of the Bible. All right. So somebody asked me, why do you use the Bible as your backdrop? Like, this is the only book that I'm familiar with that has the past, present, and future. There is not a book that's written like it, and therefore, based on that, it inspires me to do that, right? So therefore, when I read the Bible, I try to take it on face value, and because I'm taking it on face value, I try to analyze it from a past, because it's written in the past, try to see what it's like in the present and what it will be like in the future if it holds true to itself. So far from what I've read, the Bible does hold true to itself, and that's why I like it, right? So enough talk, let's start. Genesis 5. So this is the book of the generation of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him, which means that God created Adam in his own likeness. That's the easiest way to figure it out. A male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. Remember, when God created Adam in the beginning of in the other Genesis books, and then he created woman, he asked Adam to name her, and then Adam gave the name woman to them. Whether that's true or not, we don't know, but that's what's is being said. And Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness and after his image, and called him Seth. So remember, he had Abel, he had Cain in the beginning. Cain killed Abel and they kicked Cain out. So now, after he reaches 330 years, in those days it seemed like people were living forever, he ended up having a son named Seth. And the days of Adam after he begot Seth were 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. So after Seth, he had sons and daughters, right? And then, and that's after 800 years. So he had Seth, then he had sons and daughters. They are not naming the sons and daughters, and you'll see that throughout Genesis, they will talk about an individual, talk about the sons or the kids of that person that they want you to keep following down that track, and they're gonna ignore the rest of the kids. They're not even gonna mention them by name. They're just gonna say sons and daughters. He had sons and daughters. So nobody truly knows from that point who are the sons, who are the daughters. So bear that in mind, guys. They're not gonna give you the full story. They're gonna take the story from one lineage and try to follow a different lineage, but not the entire broad brand of every single part of that generation, right? And all the days of Adam lived were 930 years, 30 years, sorry. 930 years. And he died. So 930 years, that's what he lived. So Adam lived until he was 930 years. You might see I'm making notes because I might want to remember those things. And Seth lived 105 years and begot Enos. So after Seth was 105, he had the son Enos, Enos. And Seth lived after he begot Enos 807 years and begot sons and daughters. There we go again. They say after he lived 807, then he had sons and daughters. They're not telling you who the sons and daughters are, but they talk about Enos, Enos. So therefore, they're going to follow the lineage of Enos. So just pay attention to that. And and all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. So Seth died when he was 912. His father died 930, he died 912. And Enos lived 90 years and begot Canaan, Cainan, Canaan. So after 90 years, he had a son named Canaan. And Enos lived, after he begot Canaan, 850 years and begot sons and daughters. There you go again. So Canaan is the one that you pay attention to. The other sons and daughters, they don't mention them. They just say he had sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years and he died. So he died at 905. And Canaan lived 70 years and begot Mahalalel, right? Mahalalel. So after Canaan, after he was 70 years old, he had Mahalalel, which is a son again. And Canaan lived and begot, after he had Mahalalel, 840 years, and he begot sons and daughters. So here we go again. This is the line they're following there now. Mahalalel is the one they're going to follow. The sons and daughters, they ignore. Right? And Canaan lived after he begot Mahalalel 840 years. Right? Yeah, we read that. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years and he died. So he died at 910 years. Let me put a note so I don't keep going back to it. And Mahalalel lived 65 years. So that's 65 years. And he begot Jared. So now Mahalalel have Jared, Jared. Now he have a son named Jared. So now you're going to follow the son, Jared. And Mahalalel lived and begot Jared 830 years and begot sons and daughters. There we go again. He had this guy Jared and sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years and he died. And Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. So remember, in the beginning, Cain had a son named Enoch. Now, Jared has a son named Enoch, but it's not the same Enoch. It's not the same Enoch. That's why sometimes people confuse the two Enochs. In the beginning, Cain had a son named Enoch. We talked about, was it son or grandson, whatever it was. Let me see. Lamesh, Enoch, yeah, son, yeah. So Cain had a son named Enoch, right? And now Jared have a son named Enoch, but that Enoch now is from the lineage of Seth, right? The younger brother of Cain. But Cain had his own son named Enoch, right? So when you hear about Enoch in the Bible, some people might say, is it Enoch? Which Enoch? Is it Enoch from Cain or Enoch from Seth? This one is the Enoch from Seth. They're not talking about the Enoch from Cain at all again. They move on from there, right? And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years and he died. And Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. Yeah, so we read that already. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years and begot sons and daughters. So he had Jared, then he had sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 906 and 2 years, 962. And then he died. And Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. So Enoch now have a son named Methuselah. So now he have Methuselah now, and Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years and begot sons and daughters. So after he had Methuselah, he walked with God, which means that he was in concert with God. God was protecting him. So God was providing him with information. God have him. God, I got you. So he was being protected by God, and he was listening and following the deeds of God. So therefore, I believe that's why they say, and he walked with God, right? Because God is guiding him. through his path. And God is right next to him, guiding him. So he's walking with God. And then he begot sons and daughters after that. Again, sons and daughters. Remember who they let him follow that son. The kid, the sons, they're following all the sons. And Methuselah lived after he begot Lamech. So he begot, and Methuselah lived 107 years. Okay, so he lived 107 years, right? 107 years and begot Lamech. So here you have Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begot Melech 782 years and begot sons and daughters. So Lamech is the one that they're going to follow. And Lamech lived 802 years, and begot sons and daughters. And he called his name Noah. All right? So Lamech lived 102 years and begot a son. Okay? So after he was 182. 182. That's 182. So that was 182, right? That's 182. So Lamech lived 182 years and begot a son. And then he called that son Noah. So here you have Noah coming into play. This is the first time we're hearing about Noah. And then as we go further, we're going to hear more about Noah. But that's the first time we're hearing about Noah. And this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands because of the ground which the Lord had cursed. So remember, the Lord had cursed the land before. Now, Noah is coming up. Let's see what's going to happen. And Lamech lived after he begot Noah 595 years and begot sons and daughters. Sons and daughters again. And all the days of Lamech was 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? So he had Japheth, so he had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So now, this is one of the few times where one of the kids had, one of the persons in the Bible now have three sons all of a sudden at the same time. Not at the same time, but they give the names at the same time. In Adam and Eve, it was Cain and Abel, and then afterwards Seth came. But this time they put in the names of Shem, Ham, and Japheth right together, right? And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. So there you have Noah. So you have Shem, Ham, Japheth. Remember, you have all these other sons and daughters of all these other, great uncles and great aunts and everybody else. And all these people were there before. So now the population started expanding, right? And as the population started expanding, and all of a sudden, the sons of God, this is what they're saying, the sons of God. So that means God had many sons. Not just Adam, but he had many other sons. That's what it's saying here. And they saw that the daughters of men, so while those guys on the earth, Noah and Shem and Japheth and all of them having kids, the sons of God saw that these people were fair. So when they say fair, they're referring to like somebody with a nice, beautiful skin, If you go to some places, you'll see that those persons they're not white, they're not black, they're right, they have that nice brown, like light brown complexion. They call them fair skin or something like that, but it's nice and that's what they consider. So the sons of God saw that and they say, wow, these women are pretty. What did they do? Yeah, they took them as wives. And if they took them as wives, what do you think they're going to do with them? Okay, let's read on. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. So now, after the sons of God decide to take the fair ladies and take them as wives, now God is saying that his spirit will not always strive with man, right? So his spirit will always be there with man, okay? Because man is made out of flesh. Yet his days shall be. So now, remember, all those guys were living 802 years, 962, 905, all this. Now God is giving a restriction on the years now. He said you're going to leave 120 as a restriction, right? So that's what he's saying. Now, let's see what's going to happen later on. There were giants in the earth in those days. And also, after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. So once the sons of God start having children with those fair ladies, they start having giants. Huge, humongous people, right? So that's what they started having, giants. So giants, now you have the first time you're going to hear about giants on the earth, right? And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So God realized that, okay, Son of Man come, they breed with those fair women. Men now start having evil throughout his life continuously. Remember in the beginning, Cain killed Abel, and then they didn't say much about any other killing there, but they talk about the sons of God coming in and taking the wife. So God is classifying all that as wickedness, I suppose. And then you have those people who are continuously being, they're being bad, for lack of a better word. So you have all these bad dudes on this earth, and God is now becoming upset. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. So God was hurt. The way he created, this is his creation, man was his creation, and the way now man is behaving now, he doesn't like it. Think of it as you have your kids, you may have 3 or 4 kids or 5 kids, who knows. And then one of those kids or 2 or 3 of them start acting the fool. I know of parents who have 5 kids and all 5 of the kids are just as bad as the next one, right? And I also know parents who have 5 kids and all 5 kids are just as great as the next one, right? So, and then you have those who have a mix in between, right? Some people call it the black sheep of the family when they have that one who's always off or always looking for trouble, always creating problems, right? They call them the black sheep of the family right now. So here you have God created man, and now you have man as a black sheep now. So God doesn't like that. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth. So now God created man, and now he's going to destroy man from the face of the earth because man is being evil. So I guess the only way he knows how to fix man is to destroy them. Okay, so I don't know, guys, how you want to take this, but this is challenging for me. Because if you create something and the only way you know how to fix it is to destroy it, then this thing must really be bad. It has to be so bad that the only way you could fix something that you created, the only way you could fix a person is to destroy that person. Now, don't we see these things still happening sometimes? You have people who go about murdering people and they end up getting the death penalty in some places, in some states. These people are so evil that you got to get rid of them. You cannot keep them on earth any longer in a living form, right? So therefore you got to get rid of them. And I think that's in the Bible is actually indicating that some of these things are still happening today. When somebody become evil and there is a death penalty and they find them guilty of those crimes of murder and so on, they get rid of them. They give them the death penalty and they get rid of them. So pretty much that's what God is doing now. God is going to give man a death penalty based on what he's saying, right? Because he says he's going to destroy man who I have created from the face of the earth. So he's going to destroy them from the face of the earth, right? That's the death penalty right there, right? And the creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. So he feels hurt that the way that man is behaving, he feels so hurt that he created this. Like it's almost like he felt I created this monster and I got to get rid of that monster because I created this monster. That wasn't my intention, but it happened. So now the only way I know how to fix it is to destroy everyone. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So here you go. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So now, in as much as he wants to destroy everyone, every man, he's still gonna spare this guy Noah, right? He said because Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So Noah is still, now remember Enoch, Lamech, remember Enoch, right? Remember those people. This is the lineage coming down to Noah. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with God. So remember, Enoch had walked with God. Now you have Noah walking with God also, right? So Enoch walked with God because God was guiding him and he was in favor to God. Now you have Noah getting that same favor from God, right? So we've heard it many times that they say if God is with you, nothing's going to happen to you, right? If God is for you, everything you need, you're going to get it without any problems, right? If God is with you, you're going to be protected, right? Nothing will happen to you. And I guess that's one of the first places you start seeing that if God is with you, they'll have some level of protection that'll be afforded to you. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, which we mentioned earlier, but they mentioned it there again. The earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. So remember the giants, the sons of God had took the fair ladies as wives. So these giants are creating destruction in the earth. So God doesn't like that. And you know, so he's like, nah, we had enough. We're going to stop this thing. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh has corrupted his way upon the earth. So it says all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. But I disagree, because earlier on, they said that Noah was a just man, right? And Noah found grace in God. So if Noah found grace in God, the idea to say that all men here, right? The earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. I would say no, because Noah found grace with God. Now, does the all mean majority? Maybe that's what it means. I don't know. They say all. But Noah got grace. So I tend to disagree there with this writing right there, right? And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood, G-O-P-H-E-R, gopher wood, rooms that shall make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. So he's going to pitch, so he's giving him the pitch. You know how you pitch something at an angle? You pitch something at an angle, right? You pitch the boat at an angle. So you pitch it within and without. So in and out, right? So God is describing him to Noah how to build the ark. He's giving him instructions now. Because remember, he's walking with God, right? So God is providing him guidance and instruction how to go about building the ark. So this is the ark is coming here. This is the first time we go hear about that ark, right? And this is the fashion which thou shalt make of it. So he's giving him, this is how I want you to do this. Follow my instruction. If you don't follow my instruction, something bad will happen, but follow my instruction, right? The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. So the entire length of the ark is 300 cubits. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because I think I saw that word cubit before, I think a cubit is like from, I think either your shoulder or your elbow to your fingertip, right? The center, I think is this finger, the middle finger. You know how people used to tie things like this before? You take a hose and you wrap it like this. So I think a cubit was from there to there. So if you measure this, right, if a cubit is from here to here to here, you're looking at almost 2 feet, right? give or take. But you guys can always look up what a cubit means. So that's the instruction he gave him. The length, 300 cubits. The breadth, 50. Height, 30. So he gave him the instruction. This is how I want you to build it. A window shall thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. So a cubit above the ark, that's where he wants the window. So God is saying, don't put the windows all the way at the bottom, put the windows at the top, right? Cubit shall thou finish it above, right? So wherever the window is going to be at the top, because remember, he gave him God gave him the height